Introversion and extroversion has to do with where we gain and drain energy. So introverts gain energy through solitude and drain energy during social interaction. And while I don't like to think of them as opposites, if you think of extroverts as the opposite, they gain energy through social interaction and drain energy when left alone to their own devices for too long. And so we all fall on a spectrum. All of us have introvert and extrovert energy in us. It's there. I think it's a matter of forming a healthy relationship with it, recognizing it and learning how to pull it out in the context of being an introvert as opposed to trying to be a fake extrovert. There does tend to be a message of bigger, faster, more. And you've got to be out networking constantly. It's all about sales. You have to be outgoing and all of that in order to succeed. And introverts who are drawn to entrepreneurship feel an initial excitement, and they have that initial energy around creating their business, taking their message out into the world. So there's an initial rush. Then as they start to dig into everyday life and getting into ways that you can make your business more sustainable, it's sometimes challenging to find information, to find affirmation that the way that you are in the world as an introvert is, number one, okay, and number two, that it's possible to balance your energy, your tendencies, your preferences with the need to be able to go out and sell and network and market. People will think that introvert equals shy. People will say, well, introverts don't, I'm a people person. I'm not an introvert. Well, an introvert can be a people person. It's just that we need to have a certain ratio of alone time to people time that allows us to reach out to people. And what's important for the entrepreneur to understand is that includes clients and customers. It includes the time you spend online. I remember the day I realized that just because I'm sitting alone in my office and I'm on the computer, maybe I'm blogging or I'm on social media or reading articles and commenting, it's still noisy. There could not be a peep coming out of my computer. But you realize how noisy it is when you shut the lid on your laptop, for instance, and you walk away. And it's like, wow, that's like I just hit the mute button. So it's recognizing all of those different places that you are interacting with people and understanding for yourself what's the balance that you need so that you have the energy to do those things. Charisma doesn't necessarily have to do, in my opinion, with being, really high energy and really extroverted. It has to do with an inner power, an inner confidence and trust, being able to sincerely connect with other people. Just like they say, the best conversationalists are those who are the best listeners, not necessarily the best talkers. I think those with charisma it's not necessarily somebody who's like larger than life. It's somebody who emanates a very powerful, positive presence that helps other people feel connected to them and feel good about themselves. And I think, introverts absolutely have that power at their disposal. It's not about having the gift of gab. It's not about being able to, talk up a blue streak. So introverts can have this story that it's all about talking. And it's something that I think we know intuitive, like, of course, how do I like to be sold to? I like for somebody to listen to me, to ask questions, to find out what I really need, and to be honest with me if they don't have it. And if introverts can get through this idea that it's kind of the cheesy car salesman and, what's it going to take to get you into my practice today, that it's really about listening to somebody and asking good questions and being a guide and a witness for solving their problem. A lot of it is mindset. And then realizing that that you have some inherent strengths as an introvert in that we often are really good listeners. We often do have that strong feeling of curiosity about the world, about other people, about their needs. And we like to put the spotlight on others. I talked about introverts and extroverts all being on a spectrum. And most people lean one way or the other. But there is a group of people who fall squarely in the middle, and they're called ambiverts. Ambiverts are comfortable gaining energy through social interaction or solitude. And I often think of it as a Friday night test. So think of Monday morning. So it's Monday and you're already looking forward to Friday. and you say, oh, Friday, 5 o'clock, I can't wait to walk into my house and do what? So an introvert, most likely their default's going to be, I can't wait to decompress. I can't wait to not have to answer email or not have to talk to anybody. An extrovert would be like, oh, I can't wait for Friday. I get to put on my party clothes and go out to hear the band with my friends, or I'm having a dinner party on Saturday night. The ambivert doesn't necessarily have that strong default. On Monday, they're going to be like, well, I just kind of want to see how things go. Ambiverts fall in that middle. There was a researcher named Adam Grant of the Wharton School of the University of Pennsylvania. And he looked at, he did a personality survey to more than 300 salespeople. And then he tracked their sales records for 3 months. And interestingly enough, he started with the premise that it would not be the extroverts who outperformed the introverts. He figured that introverts would probably do better. And he was proven right. But what he also found was that people who fell in the middle outproduced them both. So those ambiverts did better than the introverts, and the introverts did do better than the extroverts. Actually, let's see, ambiverts earned 24% more sales than introverts did, and 32% more than extroverts. And what he posited was that the ambiverts can naturally engage in this really flexible dance between, speaking and having enthusiasm and talking with the prospect, and then being quiet and listening and asking questions and just creating a great spaciousness.
If you enjoy this podcast, please make sure to subscribe. And to stay updated on everything that the Action Catalyst is up to, make sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Action Catalyst Podcast and on Twitter at Catalyst_Action. And thanks for listening.